Hello everyone and welcome back on Haruki Murakami Art. If you are new to this channel, I would like to introduce you what place you have found here. My name is Sali and I am focusing on the works of the great Japanese novelist Haruki Murakami. So everything on this channel is focused on him. You will find documentaries here, reviews, essays, but also very cool podcasts and interviews with people that are somehow connected to Murakami or that used to do work based on his works. So, if you would like to follow me on the journey through Murakami's world, you are gladly invited to leave a like, a comment, or subscribe, and just to follow the channel and maybe to recommend it to other Murakami fans. Because more exciting projects are coming very soon, including a 1Q84 documentary. So, today's video is a short one, but very cool because I had the great pleasure to talk to Carsten from Denmark, who has designed an amazing Haruki Murakami frame, which has a very special background story because it made its way into a very special place. But if you want to find out more, just sit back, relax, enjoy yourself, and then see you soon again on Haruki Murakami Art. Bye. So, have a very warm welcome, dear Carsten. Welcome on Haruki Murakami Art. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I have seen you online in a very large Murakami fan group, so I guess you are a huge Murakami fan.
Yes, I am.
Before we talk about your project that you have showed online, maybe you can just introduce yourself a little bit to the audience, and then we can talk about what you have for us to show.
Yes, of course. My name is Carsten, Carsten Dibble online, and I am by profession a physiotherapist, and in my spare time I do miniature projects. I make frames with books in it, and that's what started it. I made some larger projects later on, but what we're talking about today is because I've made a frame with all the Danish published books from Haruki Murakami, and that's why we're talking today. So
Okay, so I guess you share something that we all love on this channel. You love Haruki Murakami. You love to read. But before we look at your frame, just tell us how you got into Murakami's works. So what was the first book and what you love about them?
Well, I encountered or met Murakami's books through a girlfriend I had. She showed me Killing Commendatore. That was the first book I read, and I just fell in love right away. And I thought, I need to read more from this guy. And it was in a part of my life where I went through some tough things. And I drove to work, and I had a bit of 40 minutes in my car. So I heard a lot of audiobooks, and amongst them Murakami's books. And it just made me feel so nice and calm, and my stress level just went really down. And it was something I could relate to in his books. So so I just got hooked on him. So I just heard one book after the other. So and that's a bit of a problem, because I kind of mix every book together, because I heard them, first, and then the second, and the third, and so if somebody comes and say, oh, the thing that happened in 1Q84, I say, oh, or was it one of the other books,
or maybe the other one?
Yeah. So I need to read them again. I have, of course, bought all the books, hard books, and the one book I actually read was the second last first person singular. That was the first book I read. And the little book about the library,
The Strange Library.
The Strange Library.
I
actually didn't know that all the pages had different colors.
Yeah.
Until I opened it and said, wow, I just missed out on so much. So that's why I thought, well, I have to read the books also, So So that's going to be my next project, is to actually read the books.
Very cool.
Not just hear them, right? So, and my girlfriend at that time, we went to art distribution or exhibition, and I came across another artist who is called Gulli Arason, who makes miniature picture frames with books in it. And I just, wow, I thought, wow. And she said, well, you can make these yourself. Can I? I thought, well, maybe I can. So I just started, and then one of my projects was making books of a Danish author. Uh, and she asked me if I wanted to do miniature books of her books, of all the books that she made, a crime writer. So I made this little frame with all her books and all the murder weapons from her book. So I just, collaborated with, all the books and all the little details with all her murder weapons. And then kind of the idea sprung that, well, I kind of wanted to make a frame with Murakami. I fell upon this old frame. I can actually show you this first frame I found on a flea market. And it's kind of bushed up and falling apart and, stuff like, it's kind of wobbly. But that made me I kind of got the idea, well, maybe I could make my own frame from scratch. So I did. And
very nice.
All this what I've made. So, yeah.
The cool thing is that my first book was also Killing Commendatore. So I never read Murakami before, and and it was the same stress level that you just told me, because I was working in a job. I told the story many times, but of course I always like to tell it because it was some kind of escape from something I didn't like.
Yes, exactly. That's so true. And I read somewhere that somebody told me that almost every guy that reads Murakami has had some kind of a slaver or some point, and Murakami actually helped them. So he's a good therapist. So.
I just wanted to say it. He's the best therapist you can have.
Yes, he is.
Curing you with some very cool dreams and stories. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And when I started to research how should I make this frame with these books, I actually contacted the Danish translator Mette Holm, translated the Japanese book to Danish, and asked her what kind of, because she has talked to Murakami and been in his home, and I said, could you please tell me something about Murakami? What kind of frame should I make before I actually, found out that this was going to be the frame that I made? And she actually helped me after I kind of explained what my project was all about. She couldn't understand it at first, so I showed her some other of my miniature frames, and said, so that's okay. And then she kind of got the idea, and she helped me along. And then I asked her, would you like to see it when I'm finished? And she said, oh yes, please, I would love to. And at that time, my girlfriend at that time, she published a book of her own, and we went to a writing, where you kind of, write the books in a bookstore. And that owner of that bookstore, I asked him, would you be interested in a frame with Murakami? I'm planning to make, because he had these book nooks. Some other customer made for him, and he said, well, yes, I would. So actually I made 3 of these frames. So the one I have on my own, and the other one, number 2, is in the bookstore. And the last one I took up to Mette Holm, and she said, wow, that is awesome. I think that Murakami would love to get this himself. Or maybe it could be in the Tokyo, or the university where Murakami has his own department.
Waseda,
yeah. To represent what other fans in the world are making of his books. So so I actually made 3, and Mette Holm brought it to Japan. and presented it to Murakami, and he has it in his new office now. So it's
Wow.
standing now. Yeah, it's quite a journey.
Such a beautiful story.
Oh yes, oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned when she wrote to me, and actually the magazine Brutus,
Hmm.
my frame was illustrated in a theme of Murakami. This
Brutus, yeah.
yeah, this one,
The
and
legendary
my
issue
frame,
with Murakami on the cover. Yeah.
yeah, and my frame is inside uh,
Hmm.
in in the magazine. So that was quite amazing. I was quite shocked when I saw that. Like, wow, is that really happening? But it was, yeah. So that was quite nice. Yeah.
Very nice. So, can you tell us a little bit about this frame? So, of course, you have sent me some recordings, and I will display them in the final video so everybody can see it. But just tell us a little bit about the details and how long it took you to do it, and what drove you the most to put to decide which details to show in this frame. Maybe.
Yes. Well, I thought I would try to get. First of all, I thought, what kind of objects are common in his books?
Hmm.
Okay, there are cats, there are wells, and the two moons of 1Q84, and the picture from Killing Commendatore.
Hmm.
Um, and then I thought, well, in his last novel, First Person Singular, there's this recording, this vinyl that doesn't exist. The one that says Charlie Parker plays bossa nova.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted to make that one.
Hmm.
And then I found some brass monkeys online. I thought, well, there was also a story or two stories about a monkey in the first person singular. I thought, well, maybe I can incorporate that.
Hmm.
And then I thought, well, in Killing Commendatore, that book kind of stuck to me. So that's the I don't know what his name in English are, the little guy that pops out in the painting
Yeah.
from the
Don Tomasino, I think.
Don Tomasino,
Yeah.
the small guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of made a little trapdoor at the
Hmm.
bottom of the frame, so he's kind of popping up there in the bottom. I thought, well, that could be nice. So
Hmm.
so so I kind of made all these, and when he talked about jazz music and whiskey, and so I thought, well, let's see if I can't make some kind of beautiful frame with all these elements, and the cat, of course, he's also a big cat lover. So and then I also have this one book that's my signature book. So that's my kind of way to make my signature on the piece. So
Yeah.
that's the idea, and it took me quite a while to figure out how can I put this together so it doesn't look dull
Hmm.
or tedious, or kind of it should kind of inspire you to look for even further. And then I always have one book that you can take out, and I make small pages in it, so you can take it out and look at, and actual pages from the book,
Hmm.
and you can put it inside again. So
Very cool.
that's one of my trademarks, is I always make some kind of object that you can take out and look and put back inside again.
Hmm.
So yeah. So, and the well, I try to make everything myself. So the little well and the little ladder that's inside the well, I made myself also. So that's
Hmm.
quite fun project. Yeah.
I
So
can't imagine. How long did it or how long does it take you in general to create such a frame? You said you have done 3 in total. How long do you need for one to make?
well, now I kind of know how it's made. So I can make this frame in a week
Hmm.
maybe, but it took me 7 months from start when I started
From
the
zero
idea.
to have the
Yeah,
design and
to,
everything.
to,
Yeah.
to, to finish.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it in my spare time, and I had to think how will I make this, how am I gonna uh, it's a process. You have to find the good way, or this is what I think I've been through, what, 3 versions of this frame before I think, well, no, that's
Hmm.
it. that's the one, So
Yeah.
yeah,
So it was a creative process that you have to
yeah,
go
exactly.
through, and yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
why it takes a long time. When you've made it, I mean, if I had to make a copy, which I am not going to do, I can make something similar,
yeah.
but not exactly this one, because I, for respect for Murakami, I need to say, this is Murakami's frame, and I can make something similar, but not exactly like this.
It has to stay unique for him, right? Just
Exactly,
to pay
exactly.
justice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell a little bit about the size? So it fits in one hand, as I've seen, but
Yeah, I mean, I have the frame here.
mhm.
I can, this is my hand,
Yeah,
and this is the frame.
very cool.
So and my head is here. I don't have a big head. About 17 centimeters in height,
Yeah.
and 12 across. So
Okay.
something like that in that size. So yeah,
Yeah. Very cool. So
yeah.
it's something perfect for your shelf, right?
Yes,
Something you can.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can have it standing there and look pretty, and yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't take up a lot of space. So and it's quite nice. And I put a glass in front of it, mainly because there's a glass on this
Yeah.
original frame that you can take out like that. So I
Okay.
thought, well, that's a good idea to protect the frame. So I made the frame, and it's also protecting it from dust, so it doesn't get dusted.
Hmm.
So that's quite nice. And actually, the last thing I made in the frame was I had to find out where to put the monkey. And I thought, well, should it be to the right side? Should it be to the left side? I thought, well, no. If I divide one of the shelves in two and just hang it in the middle, I
Hmm.
thought that this was before I read first person singular. Then I thought, well, it looks nice in the middle.
Hmm.
Then after that, I read the book and found out, well, wait a minute. The monkey in the book is actually divided between the human world and the monkey world. I thought,
Yeah.
phew, that was a bit of a lot there. So I kind of placed it. Fortunately, as it's symbologically is in the book, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, quite a lot. Yeah.
You also mentioned that it was featured in Brutus. I guess it was in Japanese, of course, but
Yes.
maybe you can tell us a little bit what was written in it. So was it just a description, or maybe the story that Murakami has it in his own office right now? Was it featured as well, or?
No, yeah. I couldn't tell where it was. It was just taken somewhere. You could see it as a blurry background.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't see exactly where it's. You couldn't see his office, and then there's
Okay.
my frame. It just close up of the frame, right? So
Yeah.
I tried to do it, a Google Translate with the camera,
Yeah.
and it just said a huge fan of Murakami from Denmark has made this frame with different objects like blah 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 blah, blah and then mentioned what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to search the other, in the columns where they kind of talked about different things, and I found out that it's kind of a written interview with people who ask him questions about
Okay.
everything.
I see.
So that's the only thing that was written about my frame, was that little text that goes on beneath the picture, right? So
Okay.
unfortunately, nothing else was written there. So
but it's cool enough to have it inside. Is it that, and
yeah,
also
it
the
would be
story
nice.
behind it that Meta sent it to Murakami for
Yeah,
you
exactly,
is very
yeah,
cool. Very
yeah,
beautiful thing.
yeah.
So you said you won't recreate it in the exact same way, but if we have some desperate fans who
Yes.
definitely want to have it, shall they
Yes.
contact you? Is there any chance that you can?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. I make this. I sell these. If people want them, I can make them and sell them. So I
Okay.
haven't found out a price there yet. So we can talk about that. So yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
first order for me, please, then, because I need it. So you got your
Yes.
first client right now. But
Yes.
I think, anyways, we will link you in the description box. So if there's anyone who want to approaches you, or just type a comment, and then you can get in touch with Carsten.
Yes.
But before we close this chapter, let's
Yes.
maybe talk about your favorite Murakami book. Is it still Killing Commendatore because it was the first one, or is there any other story that you really love the most?
Oh, I kind of forget the title of the book where you are in different worlds. There are a couple of stories I kind of forgot which books are where they are, but I still kind of link us back to Killing Commendatore and 1Q84. They are quite good books. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
Movie like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I saw his movie also. It was quite breathtaking. Driving My Car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so beautiful, so beautiful.
Beautiful film, definitely. Well
Yeah,
deserved Oscar. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, really, really, really beautiful. Yeah, I couldn't believe that 2.5 hours or so was just went like
It
that.
it was
So
like half an hour. Yes.
yeah,
Crazy.
so amazing. Yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah.
All right, Carsten, thank you very much for taking the time.
Oh, my pleasure. It was so nice, so
It was
nice.
really nice talking to you. I think
Yeah, likewise,
we all
likewise.
love this frame. It is exactly what the Harukis need on his bookshelf.
Yes,
And also,
I think.
again, really appreciated that you told us the story with Mede and Murakami.
Yeah, my
Thank
pleasure.
you very much again.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope to talk to you again very soon.
Oh, you're sure welcome. Yeah.
For everyone else, just type your questions in the comment box, or Carsten, you can, or maybe you
Yes.
can just talk to him directly.
Yes,
And
I'll answer any question you have. So yeah.
definitely perfect. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Carsten.
Thank you.
Take good care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. Bye
You too.
bye.
Bye bye.